Welcome back. Is that too loud, Tommy?
You're good.
Welcome back,
Good
you
to,
nerds.
good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Episode 3, we're 3 weeks in now. I'm very excited that we're still sitting on the couch together.
Dude, I know.
Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling good? You had to sit through my fantasy draft, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
That was painful.
It was. I could see. Was it because of the people I picked, or is it just because I was stalling?
It was a combination. But you know what?
That's fine. Hey,
can I just say, though, real quick?
Yeah, you can say
we
whatever.
scheduled our filming time differently today.
Yeah.
Specifically because of your fantasy football draft.
And
you still missed your first round pick.
I did.
So,
but it's okay because I got who I wanted.
Tell the people,
I got who I wanted. We'll talk about that in a second.
Priorities. And by the way, I am disappointed in your lack of commitment to your draft.
Yeah.
Because I have done.
Whoa. I was there the whole time. Are you talking about my.
Do you know what I've done to not miss a first round pick?
Well, dude, it was because honestly, this podcast is more important than picking Christian McCaffrey second overall.
We'll talk about it later.
Which is what I did. But so what I wanted to say is I got some comments last week. They said in the first episode, hey, how you guys met. You don't know David Koresh. You were too young. There's no possible way. And you're right. We did do that, but that's not where we met. That's actually, so you are right in a sense. Like
I would have been 2.
Yeah. I mean, we were there.
We were.
But we did meet.
We don't remember.
We don't remember.
Yeah.
What I do remember is that, correct me if I'm wrong. This might be when we met. This is one of the first memories I have of us meeting each other. We were kind of like in a collective boy band by accident. I was sitting at a Panda Express down at the mall down here when I was like 10, 11, I think.
The Hewlin Mall?
Yeah, Hewlin Mall. Shout out Hewlin Mall. Yeah, we love it. I was over there at the Panda Express just chilling, like probably just got out of Hot Topic. And this like greasy old man, well, I say old man, he's probably like my age now, came up to me and he was like, hey, you've got it.
You are a little greasy, Colin.
Yeah. Well, I was eating Panda Express. Their food's a little greasy. But so he was like, hey, you've got it. And I don't know if I didn't have any pimples or whatever. He was like, You've got it. You've got it. And I was like, got what? What are you talking about? He's like, I'm forming a boy band. I've been going mall to mall, and I would like you to be our representative of the bad boy. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
So I was actually at the rave.
You were at the rave. Okay.
Yeah, because
so
I
that's
remember.
That's a different mall for you guys.
Yeah.
So
it was the same talent.
Yeah. Todd was our talent
Was he
agent.
the manager?
I don't know. He skimmed a bunch of the money off top.
Yeah.
But I will say, so we had all the archetypes, and I don't actually remember. What was your archetype?
So I was like the cute one.
The cute one
was kind of what they went for.
We had like all the
I looked like a young alfalfa.
Yeah.
And I had the ears and all.
Mm-hmm. I had the eyeliner.
And I still have them.
I still got them.
You still got it. We had, so the archetypes back in the day, I mean, they still do it with K-pop and stuff like that, but our archetypes were a little different. They translate differently in Korea than they do in English, but obviously, bad boy, cute boy. Then we had like a kiss ass, and then like, we did have a dog. Let me just tell you the name of our band. Was it Mommy's Little Angels?
Yeah.
And so we had a couple hits, and we would honestly just travel from mall to mall.
Well, like the first thing that we ever did that we didn't know really what was going on. It was a lot of that in our childhood, not really knowing what was going on.
Can I ask you, I talked to therapy about this, but I just want to ask, did Todd make you do a tryout in the changing room?
Dude. Is that what you went to therapy about?
Yeah, I mean,
you told me you went to therapy the other day.
Yeah, well, it was a long process, and I think I actually wrote a song about it. It was one of our B-rolls. They didn't really actually play it, but yeah. So
okay,
Todd kind of got fired.
I think my tryout went a little differently.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the cute one.
Than yours.
I have to be the bad boy somehow. There's got to be some type of trauma there. So I think that's.
I think I got the free pass, but
yeah.
Dude, the tryout, the first performance was a talent show.
I was so nervous.
dude, they entered us into that. We didn't even go to school there.
Yeah. For a whole year, we were homeschooled.
They were like, hey, y'all are going to go do this show.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of other kids there. None of which were on our level, though.
Right. We did. Okay, they did. There was one kid that was not on our level, but they needed a redhead, like the ginger archetype, so he did get in. But other than that, like, yeah, we were, and that's kind of why we've also been in other bands later on in our life, and that's. But I really think it started there. I really think it started back in like the junior high era, where like, I mean, this was MySpace. We had like bunch of followers. So.
Top 8, yeah.
Top 8. And do you remember? Because there was 9 of us in the boy band, and so like we always had to like knock one of them out. For me, it was Ginger.
It was always.
And you were my number 2. I had to put our dog number 1 just because, like, come on, girls love dogs. But anyway, like, I remember all that. It was pretty much drama. It was like, oh, look, they kicked out, or they put him in he's not in their top 8 anymore.
Yeah, before all these like hype houses and stuff before the days of TikTok.
Yeah.
That was the OG way.
Yeah.
That you knew you were somebody.
Mommy's Little Angels. R.I.P. Dang. That was such a long time ago.
It really was.
So I want to get back to what we were talking about. Fantasy football. I just got my draft done, and I've been in this league apparently they just said for like about 10 years. So college, I think maybe freshman year of college. I don't remember. I'm about to burp. And
let it out.
And no, I'll just struggle the whole time. And what pisses me off.
Remember that time I got the hiccups?
Yes. We're not going to release that episode. There's a full 15 minutes of Tommy getting the hiccups, and it was the worst. It was pretty funny, but it was.
I've never had hiccups like that in my life.
Right. Okay, so.
Fantasy football.
I've been in this league for 10 years, and we've never. This pisses me off. I think I touched on this last week or one of the weeks. We have never had a punishment, and I just feel like that's not necessarily really a fantasy football league.
Well, we struggled to get everyone to pay in ours as it is. So,
right. We had a little power struggle over that this year.
So getting a punishment out is
yeah. But we vote on it every year, and guess what? Maybe I'm a masochist. I don't know. I've lost twice, and I still am like, let's just get these punishments out of the way so we can start fresh. I love watching all those TikToks and YouTube videos of people, having to stay in IHOP for 24 hours, and if they do the waffle. Have you seen all those, like, for punishments?
Right. Yeah.
Have you seen any punishment
fun.
That you were like, I wish I was in that league, or is there anything that, like, blows your mind?
No, usually it's like, I've seen a dude, like, dressed up like a girl out with his buddies at a brewery, and the whole day he had to. So it's just like kind of generic, but a lot of stuff like that.
I just saw one on TikTok where a guy had to eat 8 Crunch Wraps from Taco Bell and run 2 miles,
God,
and it was like a heavy set guy.
Dude,
that sounds like the dream. If they're finding,
how did they find out about
it? Yeah, I've seen the best ones. I've seen. Like, I like where they have to sit for the ACT.
Can we give it up on time for the Crunchwrap Supreme?
Yeah. There you go, Crunchwrap.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will like the one that I like is where they have to sit for the ACT. They go in on a Saturday and their friends tailgate it.
Yeah, that
one's funny. And then I saw one of my buddies sent me a video of this guy that had like a date with a sex doll at a bar.
Oh.
And he's like ordering her drinks and stuff. Shout out Made for Love. If you guys have ever seen that show on HBO, go check it out. It's really funny. Ray Romano's character has a sex doll that he's married to. Really funny. But yeah, there's nothing there. I'm just like annoyed.
So you got to pick up the level of punishment.
Yeah, I'm annoyed, and
talk to your boys.
We do, and we vote on it every year, and then I'm gonna put you on blast. Commissioner Austin Aaron.
Oh, Austin.
Yeah, dude, get your shit together, dude. I'm tired of
all people.
Yeah, I know. Tommy knows him too. He's one of my buddies.
You want to? I'll put our commissioner on blast for a second.
We need to start holding people accountable.
Our commissioner actually sent in the thread and said, "Hey guys, this year, what do you think about just being on the honor system, and we'll pay at the end of the."
Yikes.
What?
What?
And then it's a bunch of songwriters and musicians. So you got guys in Nashville, Texas, all over. And then you got guys saying, "How about instead of $100, we do a songwriter round?" I was like, bro, I ain't here to get a gig.
No.
I'm here to win some money.
Yeah, that's not what fantasy
So,
football
anyways,
is about.
we quickly got it in line.
Tell me the story of when you did your fantasy football when you were in
Dude,
rehab.
So, I mean,
That's commitment.
I've ended up in rehab at all seasons of the year, various times, multiple times, unfortunately or fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where it was the time of year that fantasy football drafts were taking place. I was in a facility that at the time I wasn't didn't have access to my phone.
We give him a shout out or no?
Absolutely not. No.
All right, no flowers for the.
Not this place,
All
but I've been to some great places. But anyways, they didn't run things really by the book, but they tried to.
Right. I think that's all.
So most of the time your phone is locked in a safe somewhere, or probably in another room or building you don't even have access to.
Okay.
This was not the case. This was just like in a house.
Like the real world house?
And the manager of the house had collected my phone, and it was in the same room, which had all the medications in it, in which, anyways. So one day you had to go in there in the morning and the evenings or whenever you got to take your medication. And I saw him grab my bag with my medicine, and my phone was in that bag.
Oh, shit.
So I told him I wasn't feeling too good, so I could get some medication. And while he was occupied, I slipped my phone out.
And you
and
made it?
I made it.
God.
I went to the bathroom.
That's like an hour.
But that's still that's on brand for me anyways.
You had an alibi too. My stomach's not feeling good.
Started the shower. Anyways,
what's that?
But my draft, and you, by the way, I know you said you had a buddy this happened to, but my draft was lagging so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to do this on my phone, and I was trying to get the login, and I was running behind as it was on time. But I managed to get a few picks.
There you go.
But
how'd you do
so
that?
That's why when I say that, we're pretty committed to the draft.
Yeah.
I've done some pretty outrageous things.
How'd you do that year?
Not good, Kellen.
Okay.
Not good. But you know what? I've done worse. I finished middle of the pack that year.
Yeah.
Which was shocking because after I got my phone back, I got into a little bit of trouble at this place, and they had taken my phone back. So then I couldn't make any adjustments for the last half of the season. So
yeah,
it was unfortunate. Everyone hated going up. I mean, well, they loved it, but it was like annoying for them too.
What was the guy's name from Prison Break? We brought him up before. Michael
Schofield.
I just feel like you were a Michael Schofield.
A little bit.
Rehab.
A little bit.
You just had like your draft time tattooed on your arm, and you just were like, okay, who do I pick first? Where's the medicine cabinet?
Dude, another time, but I'll tell you, the first place I went to, we figured out how to sneak off, and we got caught by the dogs in the woods.
That
was wild.
That's a little bit more Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's another time.
Yeah.
But fantasy wise, I've also done fantasy drafts in the shared community laundromat of a facility before.
Damn.
And I killed it. You get your draft report back.
Yeah, you got an A.
Which, by the way, do you say you typically get A's or?
I do, and then I don't want to make excuses for myself. I drafted Christian McCaffrey. I was first pick overall last year.
You walked in my door today, and what'd you say?
What did I say?
Should I take Chris?
Well, it's because I was like, I got second.
Year,
so last year he got hurt. And now he's, Jonathan Taylor's kind of
It's a season of redemption,
right? And so I'm hoping. And I got picked second, so I was like, my players always get hurt, especially like last year. Antonio Brown took his you remember the whole thing where he took his pads off in the middle of the game. I needed a big game from him that game, and I was like, fuck it, I'm done. And like,
I think he posted something. I remember. Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
Funny.
I just like my team likes to lose. I've lost, like
by
I
the
said,
way,
my league twice in the last 10 years we've done it.
Shout out Bob Menery getting him on the podcast right after that. By the way, because that interview was that's really actually how they blew up.
Yeah,
the Full Send really blew up
with
after
Antonio
that.
Brown.
Yep.
Yep. I'm also, this is not really off topic, but I'm also in another fantasy league, and it's not football. It's really nerdy. It's me and a couple of the homies. Have I talked to you about
like
it?
Some video game league or something.
Worse.
I wouldn't hate on it. I was just curious.
For whatever reason,
anime?
No, probably worse. I love the show Big Brother.
Our producer just shot us a look. She's not a fan of the anime.
I love anime. It's the greatest. I mean, but okay, Big Brother.
You showed me this.
And it's so fun because there's 16 people in the house. There's me and 3 buddies that get on this league, and nobody knows who's going to be good or not. It's not like fantasy football. You don't know, like, you just have a picture of them, and they have like a little quip that they say about themselves.
You really got to trust your gut.
Yeah. And so,
how well do you think you know somebody?
Yeah. And right now, I'm crushing it. I'm in first place. So,
dude,
I'm pretty excited about it. And like,
what's your strategy?
I just go off of, it changes over years, honestly, because I don't want to get into it because it's going to be very stereotyping.
Don't tell all the secrets.
Basically, you got to be good at judging a book by its cover. And so, I mean, I got a picture, like I've got this.
That's kind of the premise of the show.
Yeah, but I've got a guy on there right now that he is the nerdiest looking guy, and he's winning everything. And I was just like, I rolled the dice with him. I'm like, all right. He went into the show with like a cat shirt on, and
do you? Do you think they? I gotta think they really overplay some of that.
Yeah,
I know. Yes. Well, you and I both know someone that's been on that show, and
but I would say that yes, they do. I mean, they play into archetypes on that show, like they want certain people and everything. But that's my favorite show. I won't lie. It's because it's kind of like
well, we hope you wouldn't lie to us, Kellen.
Yeah, I won't. And the reason why
I agree
is because it's like a 3-month game of poker. Like you're just it's just, and once you get into the game mechanism of it, and they're like backstabbing each other and counting the votes and figuring out who they need to flip and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's fun. But it's just fun to have a little bit of money on the line. I mean, there's no way to know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad.
You did show me you can go watch
live
feed, which is...
Yeah, you watch people have sex on there. I don't, but you can. Yeah, it's it's on 24/7. And so they say, and people have said some like pretty bad stuff on there. One guy who won a couple of years ago, he, because of all the racist shit he said, like he won, but like the host was, when he came out,
he got canceled.
He has no idea what people are going to think of him. And when he came out, like the hostess name's Julie Chen. She was like, so you've said a lot of racist remarks on the show. You know, is there anything you want to say? And he's just like a deer in the headlights. He's like, oh shit. Like he's starting to you can feel it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Yeah. But he did win $750,000. So just go hide out, let it roll over a couple years and then you can come back out. I don't know. Tommy, they're just like, why are you talking about Big Brother? Why are you talking about fantasy football? I'm trying to see if I'm going to win this Golf Simulator Pro. They want us to get back into the Back to School Bash Bracket Challenge Part 2.
Yeah. And I mean, by the way, Kellen, I had to go kind of refresh on some of the movies that we're discussing. And it was like the age of the stoner. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these movies really played on.
You had to go back and watch Can't Hardly Wait.
I watched Can't Hardly Wait. And somebody couldn't hardly wait for me to get out of the way.
This week, I heard
this week in the parking lot. I was, dude, I work on the go sometimes.
Right.
And so I was in my truck, just backed into a spot. I had my laptop and I'm hanging out, and I look over and this guy rolls his window down, and he's in this Suburban, and he was a scary looking. He was a pretty
This is downstairs.
intimidating looking guy, and he just had this red shirt on, and I was like, oh, okay. And he looked at me as if to say, like, yo,
You want some?
I like, no, like, get out of here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
anyways, yeah, dude, I just pointed to the hat because, we both had red on.
Okay,
So, like,
okay.
we're good. And then I sat there, and then he looked at me again. And at this point, I'm like, do I make eye contact or, what's happening? And then a few minutes later, another individual showed up and kind of walked between us. And then I quickly knew,
Was he wearing red as well?
No. He wasn't.
Not blue,
But,
though.
I don't think it was gang affiliated.
Okay, all right.
It actually was funny because it was like, 45, 50-year-old dude, but it went down like a high school marijuana
Really?
drug deal. Yeah. So it was, it made me laugh inside watching these movies and then seeing that happen. I was like,
Yeah.
not
How
much
old
has
was
changed.
How old was the buyer? Probably high school?
A little younger.
A little younger?
Younger. Not younger than high school. Younger than the individual that was.
Gotcha.
Um,
Dang, I haven't seen.
anyways, it's been a while since I've even, because I'm not around that
that
that scene. Haven't been for many years now, but it was.
I lived in an apartment downtown for a while, and I don't have the best sense of smell, but I like anytime I would walk down the hallway, I like every single apartment that was on my block, I just reeked of like weed. I could just like, I got a little like secondary high in the hallway.
We get memos now emailed to us monthly that remind the residents and tenants that this is a non-smoking campus or facility,
what are they
whatever,
gonna do?
and then it'll put asterisk marijuana included.
All right. Well, we are going to get to the bracket. We're going to take a quick break. Once we get back, we're going to talk about what the prize is. We're going to, show you what it is on camera if you're on YouTube. It's incredible. I got it this week from one of my buddies, and wow.
He was speechless.
Yeah,
he was
just
speechless.
like that.
We got a good prize. We're going to make it worth your while filling out, taking the time to fill out that bracket.
Yeah, we appreciate
and,
that.
appreciate you submitting all of that, and ready to get into it. So we'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome back. Thank you for sitting through that. Tommy, we had a little bit of a meltdown. Puppy problem?
Yeah, a little bit of.
We'll bring him out when he's ready to shine.
Let's try to keep him asleep. Yeah, and then there was ants
all over his bed. I just sat here. They did all the work. But
Kellen, yeah. I'm walking by, and Kellen's trying to talk about brackets still.
well, yeah, because
Like, I got a bigger
issue.
Speaking
of, I've been anticipating the bracket, and so now let's just get into it. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you're seeing what I've got here. Tommy, you want to talk a little bit about what this SLX Micro Sim is for the first place winner for the back to school bash bracket?
Yeah,
Let me
that
get it
thing.
just closer up.
We want to give a real special shout out to Swing Logic. Swing Logic presents the SLX Micro Sim, the best mini home golf simulator. Has E6 Connect with 4K ultra high definition and
Did
provides.
You say 4K?
That's right, 4K ultra high definition. It's going to provide real screen golf experiences in various practice modes, so you can avoid the ants in the summer heat out there
Yeah.
from the comfort of your home.
Unless they're in your house.
Yeah, or maybe they're artificial ants in the program. We don't know, but yeah, the SLX micro SIM can be connected to your iOS device. That's your iPhone and iPad.
Both of them.
And Windows PC. The SLX micro SIM is a perfect product for golf during winter months, indoor entertainment, and highly customizable calibration, allowing users to tune in their results based on individual swing.
Change the game.
Hell yeah. So I'm super excited about that. That's one of my friend's companies that he has invested into, and dude, he has been super excited about it. Every time I talk to him on the phone, he's just like, I don't know. I've seen him use it. I've seen him, all this kind of stuff. And so I'm like, dude, can we just get our hands on one of those so we can give it to somebody on our podcast? And he was, nice enough. We were roommates. I've seen him naked, so he had to say yes. And he let us.
Dude, we just had a meeting about all the business opportunities, and
yeah,
it was pretty interesting timing that this all came about.
Yeah.
So pretty cool to be able to have that. So and also, I mean, Kellen, the value of this is
it's like $200.
It's over $220.
Yeah.
So guys, we're not messing around.
Right.
We're not giving out cars.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to help your golf game.
And here in Texas, it's been like over 100 degrees every day for the last month and a half. You won't have to worry about that. You can just sit on your couch, drink beer there, and you and your buddies can just trade off, like playing a foursome, going down to the court, and then you get what I'm saying, boys. And also my girl golfers out there, shout out. So let's just get into it, because we are 16 picks away from breaking some brackets. And I know that some people are worried right now. This is the second week. Some people's brackets have been busted, but that doesn't matter. You just have to be the closest, okay?
Yeah.
So, just like in golf.
Hey, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. So, I'm going to go ahead and
But you better be close. Hey, can I just say, by the way,
what's up?
The initial reaction on the poll that we took to get the final two selections, you guys were very passionate
about some specific movies.
Yeah, it really. Remember the Titans was.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good one.
You guys sent DMs in, which we appreciate, by the way.
Right.
But I appreciate you letting us know why.
It's kind of weird that you guys would go to bat about racial segregation so much. That was a little weird. But, go back and rewatch the movie.
Together. Yeah.
But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the other side of the bracket. We're going to get into that. We're going to tell you the matchups, and then we're just going to get right into it, because I've been waiting all week. So here we go. Number 1 seed on the other side of the bracket is Mean Girls. Yes, the one girl that listens to our podcast. You are represented. Don't worry. You're going against the 16th seed, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This 2 seed is Varsity Blues against 15, High School Musical.
Yeah, then we got the 3 seed, Dazed and Confused, one of my personal favorites, and that's going to be up against Can't Hardly Wait,
which you have watched recently. You did some homework. I appreciate you doing that, because that movie is a banger.
Yeah, no, it really was. I tell you what, the amount and the level that went into the production, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But that brings us to the 4 seed, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, against 13, Lady Bird.
Number 5 is American Pie going against 12, Carrie. I watched that for the first time. That one's might be an upset. We'll see. 6. This is one that you guys voted on. Easy A, and knocked out. I can't even remember. I know Heather's was in there.
0.
And my girlfriend was a little bit upset about that. She was really rooting for that. And that's going against number 11, Napoleon Dynamite.
Hold on. Easy A was up against She's All That, I do believe.
Yeah.
And a couple others. So
yeah.
But,
you want to go ahead and hit him with number 7?
7, we got Remember the Titans, which you guys also voted in, and that was a clear-cut winner there. That's against the 10 seed, 10 things. Finish that for me, Kellen.
I hate about you.
Can't see the board, sorry.
Number 8 and number 9. This is going to be a close matchup as well. It's going to be Ferris Bueller at 8, 10 Risky Business. I haven't watched Risky Business in about 10 years, but we all know.
But you see it every Halloween.
Yeah, you see it every Halloween. You know it. You love it. You love to see them. But let's get right into it. Let's just get straight into it, okay? Quit wasting time. Let's get into Mean Girls versus Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, dude, you might not remember this, but when we were much younger, you were the one that told me about Bill and Ted. So
Is that really?
Yep. So I this was about the time we were hanging out at the rave.
Yeah. So, okay, just to recap, Excellent Adventure is the one where they have to do a high school report.
Right.
All right. It's a good movie. They have like some pretty funny cameos from like some not celebrities, but historical figures throughout. It doesn't even sniff Mean Girls, anything. I was trying to be a little bit PG there, but yeah,
doing great. I agree.
Mean Girls, I can rewatch. I can watch it over and over again. When it came out,
come on, guys, you know a couple quotes.
Yeah, and I'm wearing sweatpants today, so I mean it's kind of like a Girls quote in itself. Like she had to wear sweatpants.
Yeah, we wear sweatpants on. We wear sweatpants on Sundays.
No, we can't sit. You can't sit.
You can't sit here.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Mean Girls for me. What do you? Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't even have to really debate this one.
Easy choice.
I know B over there is a little upset because she went for bat, but she's also, she's a Mean Girls. She's a mean girl.
Do you not remember? She watched Mean Girls like 5 times within 3 days.
I do. So I know she's not too upset.
Anger issues.
Let's go to the second one.
This is a no-brainer for me, guys. The number 2 seed Varsity Blues up against 15 High School Musical. At one point, my AOL IM name was centered around Varsity Blues.
Was it really? Well, I can't remember.
Tweeter. So, listen, I don't even have to discuss it. I'm just going to tell you Varsity Blues for me.
All right. I just want to shout out Vanessa Hudgenson. Okay.
Okay.
She is a baddie.
We can do that.
I just want to say we love you on this podcast. You did say some weird shit about COVID, but other than that, you've been doing. I
forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. Why'd you have to bring that up, Kellen?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Other than that,
ruined it.
She
I got you.
Yeah, I love Vanessa Hudgenson.
I agree.
I just got to give her a shout out before we dunk on High School Musical. Yeah. Varsity Blues, yeah, we're definitely going to go on there. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. We will get more into it later on. I just feel with Varsity Blues and Mean Girls, but, just sometimes these early rounds, we might need to just, move on.
Sometimes you got to. This next one, I want to hear you go first because...
All right, I will. I like both these movies. Okay, so it's number 3, the 3 seed, Dazed and Confused versus Can't Hardly Wait. And for me, Dazed and Confused is a great movie. I remember last week I told you my dad kind of would show me movies at specific times in my life. So when I was going into freshman year, he showed me Dazed and Confused.
Okay, ED.
So it's kind of like, if you don't remember the movie, it follows around some high school kids that, like freshmen, junior high kids that are going into to be freshmen next year. And they start getting hazed like during the whole summer. Which never really happened to us, I don't think. Did you ever get hazed as a freshman, like junior high going into freshman year? Or did you ever have like a senior come up to you and be like, hey, I'm going to have you under my wing, boy? Or did any of that happen?
I mean, a little bit, but mostly jokingly.
Well, how old is your brother compared to you?
So he was a senior when I was a freshman, so that's why.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of had that. I will say Can't Hardly Wait. I did rewatch it too. Prior to last week, to me, that's my dark horse, honestly. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Actually, I want to. Well, yeah, Can't Hardly Wait for me. Out of these two movies, holds up a little bit better. Honestly, just because I like that it happened all in one. I know, like Dazed and Confused happened all in one day too, kind of a thing, or a couple days. And I like movies that kind of center around a certain time. And Can't Hardly Wait is like about the end of the school year party, and they, I love the aesthetic of it. I like that they have like the band. They break up during the movie, and then they get together at the end, and you're just like, just play shit already. And they're, like the whole movie to me, it gives me more nostalgia than Dazed and Confused.
Really?
Yeah. Even though Dazed and Confused is a classic.
Okay.
If we're talking
can I say that I think since we were talking about kind of characters earlier, is it because it's a little bit closer to
maybe
your experience? Because one thing I noticed about both of these, and I'm actually glad they're going up against each other.
Yeah.
Is when you look at the production and how they cut scenes and how they focus, and they'll get a shot of someone in a car.
They have a vast of characters.
Right. And so somewhere along the way of watching Can't Hardly Wait, I was like, okay, this is interesting that they're going up against each other.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Because some of it was, I don't know, at least in the same ballpark. Humor-wise, I have to go Dazed and Confused.
I knew you were.
It's one of my all-time favorites, but it's because of some of the lines are just so funny.
Yeah. For me, I just want to reiterate, like, Dazed and Confused is a very good movie, but it doesn't give me nostalgia. Can't Hardly Wait does. It kind of gives me that, like,
That's
almost
fair.
anxiety of, like, seeing everybody for the last time. Because it's like I said, it's filmed around.
I'll tell you, when we started this is what we talked about. Is we knew we were going to run into this.
Yeah.
And if I'm going on the overall, what do I just think is the better movie?
Yeah. So Tommy, what happens in the event of what's happening now? You picked Dazed and Confused.
We got to call the producer in.
Yeah, call her in.
We got to get the B.
Sorry.
You're good. We got you. We got a tie going on here. Dazed and Confused. Can't Hardly Wait.
Dazed and Confused.
I knew it.
Did y'all like that bit?
She was acting dazed and confused.
Good one.
Wow.
God. Threw me for a loop. I was like,
she gets me. She gets me sometimes.
All right. Dazed and Confused. Sorry for screaming. We have a sleeping dog. But Dazed and Confused, you're moving on to the next round.
Hey, by the way, did you play on the Lucky Dogs when we played soccer? Rec soccer? My dad coached?
No, I was on, I was on Lightning.
That name just came up yesterday.
I was on Lightning and then Super
Crazy.
Friends. And then we combined our team and we called Super Lightning. Tommy, I already know where you're going with this next one, so why don't you go ahead and
Dude,
and
it's the
introduce
same
us.
thing for me.
Go ahead and introduce it for us.
Fast Times versus Lady Bird. Come on now.
Yeah, Lady Bird
Dude.
is a great movie. It is. Have you even seen it?
Dude.
I'll call you out.
Okay, do you laugh even remotely? Do you?
It's a different kind of laugh, but I'm not
Yeah,
voting
it
for
is.
Lady Bird either. Fast Times is
Dude,
an
Fast
incredible
Times
movie.
is hilarious.
It is.
Dude.
It's up there for me. It's not even Lady Bird's a great movie. I think it won some awards.
Dude, I think Fast Times.
Yeah, for sure for me too. So, guys, you don't have to just clap every time. Okay, they're not at winning it yet.
Okay, but yeah, I mean,
our crowd is just wild today.
dude, they're out of control.
Okay, so this one's gonna be
They don't have
easier.
to be up at 5 a.m. with the puppy. So,
right.
hey, listen, American Pie and Carrie. We got the 5 seed and the 12 seed. Kellen, I can tell you,
Yeah.
this I have to give zero thought to.
Okay. What is it?
American Pie.
Yeah.
Carrie, I know you said you watched it.
Yeah, I watched
recently?
the OG one
Yeah.
a couple weeks back, just to kind of get ready for this because I hadn't seen a couple of these movies. I hadn't seen Carrie and hadn't seen Heathers, even though it didn't make the cut.
Okay, how many? I
ahead.
have a question.
Yeah.
Is if you were to look at American Pie and Carrie,
Yeah.
How many times did you talk about Carrie with your friends?
None. 0. 100%. Like, I know I'm going with American Pie as well. All right, let's just get through this. American Pie. Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not the one I want. That's not the one I want. Hold on.
It was controversial.
Mommy Milkers. There it is. That's the one.
That is probably the most on point use of that clip.
Mhm.
The entire.
Which I heard that she, because of that role that she got a little busy because a lot of people wanted to get with Stifler's mom. I heard it recently.
Roles, yeah.
I saw actually an article like a couple weeks ago. Let's get into the next one. So this is one of the ones that you guys voted for on Instagram to be on the list. It's number 6. It's Easy A versus number 11, Napoleon Dynamite. Tommy.
I think I know where most of our voters went.
Well, they voted for it, but
I really Easy A. No. It's not my pick.
Okay.
It's not. Don't do that to me. No, Easy A was one of those movies where I don't know if I was a girl, I would maybe pick Easy A.
Yeah.
But
didn't relate to me as
Napoleon
much.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
The stupid funny stuff
Mm-hmm.
beats the like overly drama funny stuff.
It does, and it's one of the first like. I think it was an indie movie that MTV bought or one of their production companies bought, and it just like changed the game. It for a while it blew people's minds. I remember I watched that movie like
Dude,
5 times in theater.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
I mean, it brought llamas back into business.
It did.
Like there is a thriving llama business today.
Yeah, shout out Fortnite too. That's like their mascot.
Shout out to all the Tinas out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people say that all the time still today. And like, I don't even know half the people that say it know what they're talking about. I think I've heard my girlfriend's son say it.
He doesn't know what it's in reference to.
You don't even know who Tina is.
Yeah.
But yes, so for sure. I mean, I've got to give it to him because for a while that was like everyone's favorite movie, Napoleon Dynamite. We are moving on.
We saw that at plenty of talent shows. Plenty of talent shows.
But it's that I will say, and we will probably get into this later. I hated that. It would always be the principal. He'd always try to connect with the students.
What about the moms dressing their kids up and putting
Napoleon.
them on YouTube? And
we did have our principal, or maybe our dean, one of the two, dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite with a vote for Pedro shirt on, and he was just like doing all the dance moves, and it was the most cringy thing I've ever seen in my life. But like people were like, yeah, go for it. They're not getting the applause. They're not getting these. They're getting. Everyone was just like kind of like, wow, because the Napoleon Dynamite dance is like 10 minutes long, and he remembered the whole thing, and so you're just like, wow, he really took the time out to remember all this. Yay, this is cool. I don't know. It just was really, really cringy.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I had to.
You're good. Let's move on to number 7, Remember the Titans, versus 10 Things I Hate About You. Tommy, what do you got?
So Remember the Titans, I mean, I remember the first time I ever saw that movie. I remember where I was, and
Me too.
hell yeah.
I think I saw it at home.
Do you?
I think I saw it at home. I don't remember.
And then see, like a lot of my friend group at the time was really, like, that was a big hit.
I understand it was a big hit, but we were also in elementary school when this came out, right?
Yeah, but we were learning routes.
Yeah, we were learning routes, but it was just one of those. All right. 10, and then what? Have you ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
All right.
But here's the deal. I like that the categories that we're voting off are just what we think is the better movie.
Yeah.
So, in terms of like classic, I get that they're both on the radar. I would say close to equally.
Okay.
I would say that. But personally, I'm gonna go Remember the Titans here.
So kind of hinted at it earlier. For me, Remember the Titans does not remind me of high school at all. There wasn't people
Yeah.
There wasn't like
I didn't
this
say
racial. I know.
High school.
There wasn't this. I mean, I grew up in a time when black people were allowed to go to high school with me, and so I get that it's a great movie, but I would say that high school takes a backseat in this movie, and that doesn't necessarily mean that means it doesn't hit home to me in the same vein of all these other movies that are like high school nostalgia.
Yeah, but here's the deal. For me, if somebody said sunshine, like instantly you think of that scene from that movie. Like I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't know, man.
I
don't have those moments with.
I gotta give it to my boy Heath Ledger. He's in the movie.
Yeah,
he's a heartthrob. We love him. R.I.P. I'm going with 10 Things I Hate About You. So that's gonna throw.
Y'all
it
know what that means.
Oh gosh.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, talk us through it. Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans reminds me of like middle school going to youth group. I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it. And there was like Bible studies attached to it.
Probably.
So it doesn't remind me of high school, but it is a damn good movie.
It is. And then 10 Things I Hate About You. Is that a movie you've seen or like?
I've seen it, but it's been so long.
Hey, get into the mic.
Oh, sorry, I gotta speak
You're
into
good.
the mic.
There you go. The people want to hear you.
I haven't seen 10 Things I Hate About You in forever.
Yeah.
Who's the main
Main guy or main girl?
main guy?
Main guy is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know who the main girl is. She always kind of played that bitch. Like
Yeah.
she had like red hair and she has a sister, the younger sister that's like, I don't actually think he's the main guy. He is. It's him and Heath Ledger. They're kind of the two main co-stars. And then the girl that's in it.
Oh, duh. I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's what I thought. All right.
Sorry.
Thanks for voting online,
Jeez,
everybody. But
she didn't even remember the movie.
10.
She did though. She did. Just took her a minute. It's okay.
Took her a
I
second.
had to look at Heath Ledger, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew.
We had to, yeah. All right, last part of the first round. The 8 seed Ferris Bueller's Day Off versus 9 seed Risky Business.
Who you got?
Dude, I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Hell yeah.
I have the big
I love that, Kellen.
Sloan for me.
Don't mess this up.
All right. Do we just 3, 2, 1 Ferris Bueller.
There we go, baby.
Thank you.
All right. Let's just move on.
I just didn't want you to talk your way out of that one.
So we're out in the first round. We still have most of our seeds. We got Mean Girls still in it. Varsity Blues is still in it. Dazed and Confused, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, American Pie, Napoleon Dynamite, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When we return, we're going to let you know how the matchup is going to be, and we're just going to keep rolling into it. Thanks for sticking with us. On this dog not working.
Yeah, so that a dog
Do you
probably
hold it?
can't turn it on and off. It's inside. It's Velcroed.
No, hold it down.
Yeah,
I am holding it down.
No,
I'm like suffocating it. You do it. We're trying to. There's this dog. It's not his actual dog. It's a stuffed animal. But we're just messing around with it on
All
the
right,
break.
feel it. Feel the heartbeat now.
Oh, I feel it. It's anxious.
That thing works.
Yeah,
It calms the.
I'll just put it right here. It's going to calm me down when we get into this next round. We've got Mean Girls versus 8 Ferris Bueller. Now, Ferris Bueller's, a classic, but I want to hear what you have to say about it.
The first time I saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I was actually home from school sick. I wasn't really that sick.
So
but,
it was kind of like a Ferris Bueller
But
Day
it
Off?
was like a wild day of imagination for me. Like, what if?
Yeah.
But Mean Girls, I've seen multiple times also.
Yeah.
And it's...
Have you heard the theory about Ferris Bueller's Day Off where the whole thing is Cameron and like Ferris Bueller and Sloan are like in his imagination, and he's just like,
Yeah.
have you heard that theory?
You told me about
All right. For those of you that don't know, there's a theory going around on the Reddit that Ferris Bueller and Sloane, Cameron's girlfriend, Cameron's the dude who wears the Red Wings jersey, aka the confidant of Ferris Bueller. It's like he's imagining them the whole time. They're not necessarily like doing all this stuff. It's just Cameron doing all of it. I don't know if it makes the movie any better, but it's kind of interesting. But yeah, for Ferris Bueller, it's a great movie. Mean Girls, though, my girl, what is her name? What is the Gretchen? Gretchen Wieners. I had a huge crush on Gretchen Wieners. Still do, but now she's doing Hallmark movies left and right and making that Hallmark. She's getting that Hallmark bag just every Christmas season, every
Sounds
Valentine.
like you've been keeping up. That's
well,
good.
she just. I mean, I look up her IMDb every once in a while. But what are you going with?
Man, I'm actually gonna go Mean Girls.
Yeah. So let's just go for it. Mean Girls. On to the next one.
Like the younger me would have been like, no.
Oh man, I hate Mean Girls. Nah, it's a top 10 movie actually for me, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Varsity Blues versus 10 Things I Hate About You. Do you want to talk about this? I already know you got the AIM scream name, which by the way, we'll talk some other time about how I had to kick you out of a band over AIM. We will have to talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
That was a heartbreaking decision.
At the age of 14, yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't Mommy's Little Angels. It was another band, One Shot Away. Shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Amy Smart, she's the blonde chick in it. She's like the big quarterback groupie. Had the biggest crush on her as well.
Yeah.
She was in Rat Race. She was in
Yeah, you were quite a
Shameless.
fan, yeah.
Yeah, so I got it. I mean, I do like 10 Things
I think
I Hate
a lot
About
of
You.
us were, yeah.
Yeah, let's just do it. Varsity Blues.
There we go.
See, some of these movies are just like head and shoulders above the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Dazed and Confused versus Napoleon Dynamite. So the number 3 seed, Dazed and Confused.
Sorry, I
No, you
can't
good?
see the board that great.
You're
Yeah,
good.
I think
I know you're a big Dazed and Confused
Yeah.
fan, but what do you got for me?
yeah, for the same reason. I really I don't have much to compare it. Like to me it's a no-brainer.
Dazed and Confused?
Yeah.
Do you know if it was a
Like,
big hit back in the 80s or 70s when it came out? Like, was it a big cult classic then, or did it hit
Yeah,
later?
but I think it was more probably alongside the early 90s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But like Napoleon Dynamite
It was already out the gate a cult classic. And I'm not saying that it has to be like
yeah.
a fan favorite
You're
for
right.
us to move on, but I will say Napoleon Dynamite shaped. We were in high school, going into high school when it happened, and it
Yeah.
kind of shaped that awkward, weird, like people would say weird stuff all the time, quoting Napoleon Dynamite. It was
Yeah,
that
I didn't
and
always
Borat.
catch on. I didn't always catch on to
It was that and Borat.
Yeah. But like if I had to pick a movie to watch.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't watch Napoleon Dynamite probably again. I don't need to. So you're right about that. All right.
I think it's because it's the timeless side.
All right. Dazed and Confused works for me. Now this one, Tommy, talk to me about it. Probably your favorite pick overall.
We
correct?
got Fast Times and American Pie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
Do you want me to start, or do you want to go for it?
dude. So I kept wondering how that was gonna. So, oh man, Fast Times is up there for me, but American Pie is also a staple.
Yeah.
I mean, because if we're gonna talk about nostalgia, I mean, American Pie. Can you beat that? I mean,
I do. Okay, the second movie, that's when they had that Bronco. Remember that red Bronco that they took to the beach house? No, maybe don't. I
yeah,
was in love with that truck.
no, yeah,
That was like,
I
I wanted that so bad. My dad was like, Broncos are a death trap. You're not getting anywhere near one.
like the OG Bronco. But I mean, do you get what I'm saying? American Pie. Like if I watch it today, it brings me back personally to where I was when it was.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these movies, you got the thing that's hard for me is there's a lot of classical movies that are just classics, and then you got the ones that are like a little bit too early to be considered classics, but they relate more to what I was going through. And I'm not on that old like classic. I'm not going to be on the classic stick. You know, I'm going to pick from my heart.
There you
And
go.
you get what I'm saying? So
We're growing up around here, guys.
I
Or
saw
listening
American
to
Pie.
our hearts.
I saw American Pie for the first time at your house. Now I think about it.
Oh yeah.
I slept in your brother's room one night, and like I think he was gone. It wasn't like next to each other.
Yeah, I think he probably would be gone if he slept in his room.
I forgot about that, and so and I hadn't seen it by that point, so I was just like, oh, they got the DVD here. I'll watch it, and
Yeah.
it
was always around. It was always around the house.
And by the way, I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And
Yeah.
I can't even get the name right, but
It is funny.
it's great. I think we got for me, I got our first upset, American Pie. I don't know. I know that this is one of your number one seats, so it's up to you.
I was gonna go Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
All right. Well,
Personally,
Miss B, we got another tiebreaker for you. It's Fast Times at Ridgemont High versus American Pie. She's contemplating.
sorry guys, I know. The thing for me is, once again, like I would opt to watch Fast Times.
More, yeah. Well,
But what you got?
she's shaking her head. She's got her hand.
And hey, you don't have to be loyal. I mean,
She has been this whole.
no,
podcast.
she hasn't.
That's true.
No, she went against me. Hey, you got lunch.
I made Kellen lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy lunch.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well,
Bread clogs you up. I'm gonna have to go to Fast Times.
All right. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
There we go.
We are moving on. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here.
You know what though I was thinking about
What's
is her humor and what she likes is probably more in line with Fast Times and stuff like that.
What, like abortion humor?
Oh jeez.
Guess
That's not
But guess not.
exactly where I was headed.
Do I still have this here? You can hold this dog for a little bit because it's about to get super stressful. We are having to do the number 1 seed versus the 2 seed here.
I don't like it.
And this is going to be hard for me as well. Mean Girls
This
versus
is where the gloves come off.
versus Varsity Blues. I will say I've seen Mean Girls more. But during football season in Texas, like when I was down here, I guess still a little bit too in Oklahoma,
Talk to me. Come on.
it was like that. And actually, where I grew up in Oklahoma, it was a little bit of a more smaller town, and it was a little bit more political too as well. So it kind of was similar to that Varsity Blues style where,
Right.
like, you know, the coach was, all that shit. So I kind of have both of these movies. But I do like that Mean Girls kind of tropes the high school. Like, I was kind of talking about it last episode. I like how they just have, like, put the nail on the head with, like, all right, these people sit over here, these people sit over here. It's not always like that. And in fact, like, once I left.
The cliques and all that. Yeah.
It's not, like, they're not called the cool nerds and the cool Asians and the nerd Asians or whatever they call them. But I do think it's funny that they do like separate it like that, and they have this jungle theme, and it's like kind of troped like throughout the whole movie, like trying to be cool.
It was clever.
And then Varsity Blues is just a good movie. I mean, there's better acting in it.
I think if you have any ounce of like just being from Texas or country or like and that humor alongside of being around football when you're young,
Yeah.
like it's
The barbecue scene where he's like, they have his son going against James Vanderbeek. Wait, no, the other way around. That was really good. Against Paul Walker.
I mean, just shooting shotguns, drinking beer. I mean, at the end of the day, Varsity Blues.
Are we going to have our first upset? I know if I throw it to B, I know what she's going to say. And the thing is I would like to... I was going to have this thing, but you know what? I feel like you kind of swayed me a little bit. Varsity Blues is good. I mean, the whipped cream scene. Oh,
hey,
baby.
this ain't what's your girlfriend's favorite movie?
That's true. I didn't say that.
I know.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I do like Mean Girls a lot. Like I said, it's
Okay.
probably one of the top 10.
Okay, Kellen's passionate.
But if you're talking about high school,
Yeah,
for me,
that's what we're.
yeah, I mean, sure, you got me. Varsity Blues. You got me. Varsity Blues knocks out our 1 seed Mean
Dude,
Girls. Wow, that's wild.
It's gonna throw a lot of people off.
Yeah,
That's
sorry, busted some brackets. Now we got the 3 seed versus the 4 seed. This is a good one too. Dazed and Confused versus Fast Time at Ridgemont.
Oh gosh, I was really hoping they wouldn't go against each other.
Well,
like
you gotta pick
at this
one.
point, but kind of glad they are because
Yeah,
there can only be, to me, when we get to the the final.
right.
I feel like there can't be both of those.
No,
There can only be one.
and I know both of these are probably like this was like your 2 and 1 and 2 favorite movies. Honestly, I think on the list, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, they were both. They were both up there.
I do want to hear your professional view because you, like I said, you're more of a stan of these both movies. But I'm going to go first just to kind of clear your head a little bit. Out of these 2, Dazed and Confused is my favorite movie out of the 2. I do think Fast Times is hilarious, but Dazed and Confused, just like how it's shot, everything about it. Like I said, it's not necessarily like how I felt throughout high school, but I like the anxiety of those freshmen going into high school. They definitely got that part. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember like going into freshman year and like even playing football and stuff like that and sports, like feeling like, okay, the seniors have been here for so long, they know everything that's going on. Like I just need to just shut up and just like I don't know. I got that anxiety part. What happened with the paddle and shit like that didn't ever happen to me, not in high school at least. And so,
alluding to something.
college. But yeah, and like I
I
said,
thought frats don't haze.
Well,
yeah, they don't.
They don't, and we don't call them frats.
Yeah,
either.
we don't call them fraternities. So what I would
We're classy, okay?
Yeah.
It was
Oh
like
my
that was
God.
day one.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm gonna go Dazed and Confused.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
I was
you're hoping I would.
man. So here's the deal. Spicoli
Yeah.
is, dude.
Yeah.
What a great fucking character.
Yeah.
Why are you so like hooked on this movie, babe?
It's his. I think this one and Dazed and Confused were his number 1 and
Because
2.
It wasn't just a movie to me. Like, it was a lifestyle, baby.
It was a personality.
Listen, I don't know. We quoted that movie nonstop, and even up until a few years ago, I mean, I don't know. It was just who I was around probably influenced that.
Yeah.
But as far as just humor and characters and longevity, Dazed and Confused is a classic. Equally has some great lines. Be a lot cooler if you did.
Right.
I get it, guys. I'm just going off my personal. I'm going Fast Times.
Let me ask you real quick. I'm not going to sidestep us too much. But
Sure.
Do you think Matthew McConaughey loves the fact that he was in that movie or hates it now that he's in this movie? Because I swear, don't you feel like
Dude, it's on brand. He doesn't mind.
you don't think he minds? I know he said it in like one of his last speeches. He finished it with all right. But still, if I was a character that was
It's
super
signature,
iconic,
though.
yeah.
It's
Don't go too far, Miss B, because we have a tiebreaker coming up. But with McConaughey,
listen, and in all fairness, it could go either way.
yeah,
But if I'm just
spitballing, you think he likes
going,
it?
I've just gone gut feeling every time. If I had to turn a movie on,
Yeah,
what's my favorite movie? Out of these, either I would watch and laugh. Fast Times for me.
yeah.
I knew people in real life that were more like
Spicoli.
that whole
Yeah, I can see that.
dude.
All right, B. What we got? We got Dazed and Confused, Fast Times. We're throwing a lot to you this week.
Dazed and Confused.
All right.
I
Dazed and Confused.
She's a classic kind of girl.
Yeah, we're moving on. Now, the movie is about groomer behavior, but we'll just go past that because we do have another one on the other side that now that we're at our final four, let's talk about them. 21 Jump Street, also groomer behavior, Superbad, Varsity Blues, Dazed and Confused. So how this is going to work is we are going to have a third seed as well, as in like the third place. Just to kind of give you a little bit more to work off of on the bracket, we're having to crunch down the bracket that we're going to give you guys down to 8, as you guys can see online. So hopefully when you see it, you're not too confused.
Just wanted to make life easy for
you.
Yeah,
just to make it a little bit easier because 32 is a lot, and we understand it. So Superbad is going to go against 21 Jump Street, Varsity Blues versus Dazed and Confused, and I think those are two great movies to go head-to-head and then figure out, after that, we'll just figure it out. But we do need to take a break. We got to charge our camera. Thank you for sticking with us. I know you're on the edge of your seat. We will be right back. It's kind of camouflaged.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Welcome back, everybody. We are now at the final four. The final countdown.
This is the final countdown.
We're going to go back over to the other side first because, I don't know, I just want to. Superbad, which was our number 1 seed overall, versus 21 Jump Street, our number 2 seed overall. Well, they were just how we had it set up. But, Tommy, do you want to get into it first? Do you want to take a little bit of time to think about it?
Man, here's the thing for me. Superbad for me is just overall start to finish.
Yeah.
It's my pick. Now, 21 Jump Street, dude, I just watched it not too long ago, and there were parts of that I was dying. Like, it is hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny. They're both really funny. There were 2 writers, Lord and Miller. I don't know if you know who those people are. They write a lot of movies, have a lot of, like the Lego movie. I know that's like not everyone's favorite movie, but it is funny. And then they did Last Man on Earth, if you ever saw that show.
I didn't see that one.
Sorry, but yeah, they're some good writers. And then they came back for the other one.
Yeah.
But
for me, Superbad, once again, just
it's a solid hit. I mean, Michael Cera was in, Arrested Development before that. So he had a little bit of stardom. But I mean, he wasn't on my radar as much.
That really elevated him.
It did. And Arrested Development's great, but I hadn't really gotten into it at that point, I don't think. I know my cousin was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But I was too young to kind of get the jokes, I think, at first. It took it to get on Netflix for me to get back into it, honestly. But it, like, Jonah Hill, he had been in a bunch of movies. Then he had some cameos here and there. He was
it was a big breakout. I feel like Superbad for a lot of.
He was in what was that movie with Justin Long where they went to college? Undecided, I think is what it's called. And he's asked me
Something
about
like
my
that.
wiener. Yeah. So like he already actually had some people quoted him before they even kind of fell in love with him in this movie.
Yeah.
He is so funny, though, in 21 Jump Street.
He was funnier in 21 Jump Street, I think.
I do, too.
100%.
And it actually made me like Channing Tatum. I like Channing Tatum. I've always kind of, he's all right.
They fed well off each other.
They did. It was kind of remind me of Will Ferrell and Marky Mark in The Other Guys. Now, I think they did a better job. I think 21 Jump Street, like both of those movies kind of are comparable to me. They were kind of these movies that I wasn't really looking forward to seeing. Then when I saw them, they were like, wow, I could go see that again right now just because of it. It was like so surprising how good it was. But Superbad had so much hype behind it. And I told you I snuck into it to go see it. And like the first time I tried to sneak in, the manager like kicked me out. And then I had a buddy that worked at the theater, and he like got me a ticket. And I finally got to sit down. I was like, here we go, baby. Here we go. And I laughed all the way through it.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny. Like the cameos that happen. Like I know little Franco's in it, and he's got the people don't forget, that line. When I'm talking about.
Classic. 100%.
People gif that all the time. GIF, whatever. Who cares? I don't care how you say it. And I got it. I personally got to go Superbad.
Yeah, that was my pick.
Good. All right, let's go, baby.
Oh, man.
Superbad
We made it
into
through that.
the finals.
We made it through that.
Yeah, we did make it through it. Now, what we're going to be doing here is going back over to the other side, and it's Varsity Blues and Dazed and Confused. Now, these two movies, I would say, are kind of comparable in the same sense that they have like a little bit of that Southern charm to it a little bit. Does that make sense? Like it's got that like, Matthew McConaughey's obviously from Texas, but in Varsity Blues is set in Texas, and they kind of have, this like laid back kind of comedy style that they got going. So I do like that these two are up against each other. I do want to hear your thoughts first.
I think Dazed and Confused is a little bit more nuanced.
Yeah.
With that, especially on the humor side, whereas Varsity Blues is just pretty in your face about it. So I actually like Dazed and Confused for that reason. I mean, Varsity Blues, I know plenty of people that are those characters.
Yeah. There's a bunch of tweeters out there.
Yeah. You got some good old corn-fed country folks that like to drink beer, they like to shoot guns, and they like their high school football. Dazed and Confused.
I will say, I don't remember, is in Dazed and Confused, are the main characters, like when they're jocks, are they football jocks, are they basketball jocks, or baseball jocks? I honestly cannot remember. I was thinking about it just now, like, remember how they talked about he's not wanting to go back to playing that sport, and I honestly, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I don't know if you remember.
You're good. Yeah, I'd probably just always associate him with just
football,
jocks.
Yeah, jocks, but he was, I think it was basketball, but yeah, like he was, I remember the principal was like, or the coach, and he ended up just wanting to smoke weed the whole time, which, shout out my smokers, it's actually a little bit past 420 now so you can blaze it if you want. Trying to give Tommy some time to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter, honestly, but what I'll say this, out of those two movies, Varsity Blues does give that anxiety. Okay, so it kind of started the trope of the starting quarterback gets hurt. The backup slacker has to come in.
So some of it's football.
Football, okay. The slacker quarterback has to come in and save this season. And that, I think I could be wrong, but I think they were one of the first ones to do it. And if they weren't the first ones to do it, they're the most iconic one to do it first.
Yeah, it was football.
So, and in Dazed and Confused, it's just a great movie. Like we talked about it earlier, they've got the cast of characters that they kind of keep going back and forth on, and I like that too. So I hate to do it. I know we're probably going to be split here.
You might be surprised.
Okay, I'm going Dazed and Confused.
I am too.
Oh, wow, I am surprised.
I am too.
Dazed and Confused, moving on to the final round. Before we get into the finals, we are going to have to pick a third place winner. And so the two leftovers are 21 Jump Street and Varsity Blues. Now, this one might be a little bit closer, I would say, possibly, than those last two matchups.
Yeah, still tough for me.
Yeah. 21 Jump Street, Varsity Blues.
It's a whole different type of movie.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they both happen in high school.
And if I'm asking myself, what movie would I watch more regularly or put on today? It's probably 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, it is.
Now, 6, 7, 8 years ago,
yeah,
even, it might have been Varsity Blues still.
But which one gets your high school, like what gets, what makes you think of high school more?
But Varsity Blues, dude, I mean, you and I both. I remember before I was even in high school, like I went to every game, every home game, and I grew up hearing the stadium, every Friday night. So
yeah, we had like those moms, the homecoming moms, and they were really
when you're
long.
around like parents like that, and then the kids are like that, I mean,
yeah, the PTA, the damn PTA
and
messing up our season.
Politics, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really does because we both went to a private
It
school.
sways me.
We both went to a private school, even though it was a big city. Because we went to a private school, it felt like a small community. Correct.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, it's kind of sad, but my girlfriend, we went to meet the teacher and stuff like that. I don't know any of the parents. And it sounds weird that I'm in that situation now, but that community is not there because of how big the high school is, and also, or not high school. I'm sorry, elementary school is.
Yeah.
And the remaining, the city's big too. Fort Worth is big, but the private school thing that we both went to kind of made the community smaller, which made it kind of reminiscent of,
You had it. It was closer to what a smaller town football team would be because, if we were UIL, we were, 3A.
Yeah, and then
at least when we were there.
And when I went
2A and 3A.
When I went to Oklahoma, they were 6A and they were in a small town, so it really was like that.
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, I love 21 Jump Street. I'm gonna put Varsity Blues in this one.
Dang, I mean, you really brought up some good points, Kellen, that I agree with 100%.
Yeah.
We've been going at it even off the air today a little bit.
We have.
So, I mean, I actually am going to agree. You've swayed me. Initially, I was leaning 21 Jump Street.
Same here, actually.
And I have to remind myself, I saw it more recently.
Right. I wasn't a cop
But
in high school.
I mean.
Sorry, detective.
There was all kinds of wild shit going on. But, at the end of the day, you're right. Yeah. Varsity Blues is the better
our runner-up, third place winner, Varsity Blues. Congratulations. Hey, shout out James Vanderbeek one time. And R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Yep.
All right, so here it is, the moment of truth. You want to go ahead and just set it up for us?
We're going Super Bad versus Dazed and Confused.
Do we need a little music? Hold on, here we go.
Yeah. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come a long way. Now, it is time to figure out who is the best high school movie of all time. Is it Superbad or is it Dazed and Confused?
I don't
Did that get you hyped?
I don't think Dana White's going to be calling you anytime soon, brother.
Probably not. Bruce Buffer.
But dude, I like the effort. It brought the energy up.
Yeah, it did. It's the music.
That. We needed that. Superbad versus Dazed and Confused. Man,
oh man. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate for a second. I love both these movies. Like I said, both of them kind of get your anxiety in different ways. Like that high school anxiety one is like, okay, I gotta, there's a party coming up. I guess both of them do that part. But this is my last chance at like making an impression in high school. And that's relatable on a lot of senses to people. On the other hand, it's the beginning of high school and it's like, I got to make a good first impression in high school.
Mm.
And so that anxiety of like,
Did you have a good impression in high school?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I went to 2 high schools.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't want to like humble brag myself, but
that's good. That's good.
I was best dressed in high school.
I think I had it going up until about halfway your freshman year. But I mean, I stayed the course overall.
Yeah.
Listen, Dazed and Confused brings me back to a time in my life when I wanted to take 2 or 3 Adderall, get some Death Mix, some Everclear, Gatorade, whatever whiskey we had laying around, load up on some cigarettes, and go on a little trip to a college town and have a good time.
Really? I mean, we are in a college town, TCU, shout out. But where would you, Tarleton or what? Stephenville?
I mean,
all the above?
Yeah, you could always go out there to Stephenville. You could always go out there. Hell, even College Station.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had a good time in all different towns across Texas and Oklahoma, even in Baltimore at one point in time. So I've been to a lot of places. Shout out to the Kegs and Eggs boys of the soccer team back in the day. There, I'd go visit my brother playing out there. But here's the big thing for me is Superbad and Dazed and Confused. There are equally some hilarious moments in Superbad.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what your take on that is.
Superbad is they both just like have even iconic characters that are not like in the core part of. So for example, Matthew McConaughey's character, like the old guy that's hanging around the high schoolers, he's not part of the main cast, but he's probably the most recognizable character. Now McLovin, on the other hand, he's in the core 3 if you want to get there, but like he's not. It would go if you were going the cast list. He's probably 3rd, maybe 4th or 5th if you count in the cops, Seth Rogen and Bill Hader. And then it kind of jump-started Emma Stone's career. She was an Easy A after that. Didn't do as well, not even in this bracket. I mean, it is in this bracket, but not as well as this bracket. Dude, I mean, Superbad to this day is probably like one of my favorite comedies. And yes, there's been some better comedies that have come out throughout the time, but they all kind of like try to go after that like buzz that Superbad got. I mean, it was like
that's true.
It was like a different.
And there's a couple other movies I don't want to bring up because they're not even in this category, but they also fell in line.
Probably some Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So prior to that, those movies were like the comedy titans.
Yeah.
And then like
there's a hot run there.
Yeah. And then Superbad came out and it was like, okay, no, this is my favorite funny movie. And everybody is like putting it on their Facebook, like what's your favorite movie? Superbad. Dazed and Confused was also up there, I think, as well, but it was just to kind of like, show that people I understand the classics too. But the thing is that
that's fair.
Like I said, I'm not gonna let classics grab me by the dick. I'm going Superbad.
Can I add one final statement?
Yeah.
Is being sober for close to 6 years now.
Shout out being sober.
I mean, it is what it is.
Oops, hit the theme song there for a second.
Appreciate that, but it's given me a new perspective on
both these
movies centered around either drugs or alcohol, or the humor alongside of that also.
True.
Because, let's call it like it is. Like I've been in some situations not too far off. So, taking that into account, it makes me laugh harder, super bad, at some of these scenes and moments that happen. Because I'm like, holy shit. Like, we did the fake ID thing. I remember people
did. I didn't.
Getting baseball cards and
doing
making their own. And then, like, that whole era of figuring
and they were allowed to drink back in Dazed and Confused age.
Yeah.
They were like 18-ish.
So, exactly. It was a little different perspective.
Yeah.
But when I look at all the just debauchery of Superbad, it really is up there.
Yeah. So what are you picking?
Based on today, what I think is the better movie that I would continue to watch is Dazed and Confused.
Wow. Are you serious?
I am.
So, okay. So for those
am.
of you guys that kind of zoned out during our, and just was waiting for us to figure out
I
who
know.
got what,
I know.
it is Superbad. I voted Superbad. Tommy voted Dazed and Confused.
Should we? Here's what I feel like
What?
is. I feel like because this is the final.
Yeah.
We pass it and then we discuss it. Should we have a unanimous decision
What
versus just like a tiebreaker?
All right, let's do this. I think we do this instead because then it would kind of help people relay with their brackets.
Guys, we didn't know this was
Right. I honestly thought you were going straight up Superbad. I'm kind of feeling hurt. A little
I'm
bit.
sorry. I had to make it difficult, but
What if we threw it to a poll and let fate decide? But I do want to hear B's what she thinks as well.
yeah.
But what do you think about that?
Gosh, problem with that is
It's going to take a little bit while.
that would be breaking what we've done the entire time.
God,
If we want to stay true to our format,
yeah.
we leave it in the hands of our producer.
So my thing is, when thinking about high school, I think the overall experience, like the average experience of high schoolers for like in America, is more relatable in Superbad
Yep.
because not everybody's the popular jock.
Is that kind of the final, like what we're basing it off? Because I might be in left field.
I'm not basing it off that. What I base
Okay.
it off of is if I base it off a couple things. If I really like the movie, but if I also like feel like it related to something that if there's something
Yeah.
I can relate to in it, and then two, if it kind of stands the test of time.
That's why I liked Superbad, is because it hit all those things for me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, I'm just like picturing some of the scenes in Superbad. There's one scene that I've never laughed so hard about, and it's the like. Good thing about my what is it? What does he say?
Guys, I don't want to be the villain here. Should we? You're right.
Are we coming to an agreement?
You know what? I'm diehard Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
But if we're going,
That's your all-time status is like anytime I call you or anytime something happens, you're just always dazed and confused. So I understand why you picked the movie. But like we said earlier in what I was in the boy band, being a bad boy, I'm super bad. So that's why I went with what I went with.
oh gosh, mommy's angels.
Mommy's Little Angels, baby.
Super bad, guys. If you picked Super bad, congratulations,
Let's do it. Hell yes.
guys. That's it.
That's it. Superbad is your winner, our winner, everyone's winner. And
Man, I gotta ask, did
Yeah.
you think that was starting this whole?
I thought Mean Girls was going to go farther. I didn't think. Yeah, no. I mean, like there.
I
some
thought
movies
you were
that-
gonna take Fast Times over
Yeah,
earlier on.
yeah. Well, I
It
didn't.
was an interesting ordeal.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your winner. Superbad. We will find out who won next week when we announce who won in the bracket. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching our.
And we're going to be doing more
We
bracket
will.
style
It's not going to be.
competitions.
It's not going to be every week. Okay, this is a thing that we're going to do. Not
It's
even.
kind of a launch party.
Yeah, and 32. We're not always going to do 32. Okay, we're going to probably do somewhere around 16, and we'll knock it out in one episode usually. We wanted to do the back to school bracket. We wanted to make sure that everybody knew what our favorite movie was when they went back to high school. Okay, so thank you for tuning in with us, Tommy.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
follow along. It's at Post Hump Day. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is PhD Podcast. Anywhere you stream, Spotify, Apple, you can find us. We are the Post Hump Day Podcast. I'm Tommy DeSalt.
I'm Kellen King. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.